Alrighty, now we are in the final section of this presentation. Of course, everybody's favorite part. Let's talk about available funding opportunities through the Watershed Department. Before we begin this section, I do want to make a disclaimer that we are not financial professionals, so please contact your accountant or financial specialist before signing any contracts with us. So this is a general overview of what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to review the general application process. We're going to talk about 3 of our main funding programs available here at the district. We'll get into some information about taxes, just a general overview of application requirements, as well as other funding resources that we have available at the district. We will get into projects that the Conservation District does not fund, as well as other available resources. So the general application process is very simple, although this looks very wordy and complex. It's really not. Typically, landowners will call us here at the Conservation District and we will set up a time to go and assess the property, usually with the landowner present. So we'll go assess the stream on the property, and we will give the landowners options as to what funding sources we have would be best suited for restoring the stream. As you apply for a funding program, you will also need to apply to be a district cooperator if you aren't already. This is just a 1 or 2 page form that you fill out that says, yes, I will cooperate with the district throughout this project and future projects. So after the cooperator form and the program funding application are submitted to us, the project application will be reviewed by the Watershed Committee, which is a subcommittee to our district board. After it's reviewed by the Watershed Committee, the project application will be sent to DEP or the Department of Environmental Protection for review and approval. We do have a large woody debris program, which we will be going into more detail about later in this presentation. Typically, our large woody debris program, or LWD, as noted in this presentation, they do not need to go to DEP for approval, since the funding is designed such that landowners and contractors wouldn't have to be using heavy machinery within the stream. So after those projects are sent to DEP and hopefully approved, the application will then be reviewed by our district board for approval. At this time, we will also be applying for permits if the district board does approve the project. And the district board will also review the large woody debris applications. After the district board does approve of the project, contractor bidding takes place, and once the winning bidder is selected, the project can then begin. So let's talk more about our large woody debris program. Our large woody debris program is funded by York Haven Hydroelectric. This is designed to remove log jams and provide some financial assistance to gain access to equipment rental if needed. And as I mentioned, we're not looking for landowners and contractors to drive into the stream with any kind of heavy machinery, so that's why no permits are required for this. This is a cost share program where the landowner is paid directly. We do recommend submitting pre-written quotes, especially if those quotes are over $5,000. So we do accept applications on a rolling basis. We do not have a limit as to how much you can request for large woody debris removal. As I mentioned, you do need 3 written quotes if the cost is over $5,000. And then There's always a post-project maintenance term of 5 years with our funding, at least within the watershed department. It's just saying that you like won't cut down trees and leave them in the stream type of thing. We understand if natural disasters do happen and large woody debris does fall into the stream again, then we will work with you with in regards to that. Um, Lately, we have been getting more municipalities and HOAs interested in applying for large woody debris to help out throughout the HOA properties, or as I said, municipalities overall. Next up, we have our Headwaters Environmental Legacy Program. This is our Help Streams program for short. It is designed to financially assist with projects that include stream bank rehabilitation and protection. This does cover the cost of gravel bar removal, and this is specifically for non-agricultural landowners. We do need to complete and submit general permit threes. This is another one of our cost share programs where the landowner is paid directly, and we do recommend submitting 3 written quotes from contractors. Again, applications are accepted on a rolling basis, and this is a cost share program. So the conservation district will pay 75% of project costs up to $10,000. And again, the post-project maintenance term is 5 years. So here is an example of a project funded through our Help Streams program. This occurred on Detweiler Road in Manchester Township. This homeowner was concerned that the stream banks were eroding their backyard. There were also several high cut banks here, making it unsafe as they had some younger children in the family who enjoyed playing, you know, in the stream and fishing and things like that. This is an unnamed tributary to Little Conewago Creek in the Conewago Creek watershed. Here are after pictures of the same area. This was a stream bank stabilization project completed in August of 2023. This project cost $25,000 and the grant covered $10,000. So the homeowner paid $15,000 out of pocket. Next up, we have our Exelon Habitat Improvement Project program, or XHIP program for short. This project is funded through the Muddy Run Pumped Storage Project. This funding is designed to help landowners maintain existing best management practices and installing new BMPs, or best management practices. So this includes, but isn't limited to, installing forested stream buffers and maintaining those buffers, creating wetlands, stream restoration and maintenance, in-stream habitat improvement and maintenance, which is what separates this funding opportunity from our other funding opportunities. It can also be used for barnyard pasture and cropland BMP installations. This funding program is also different from the other two in the sense that applications um, receive a score and they're ranked to determine the priority of the project. So sometimes we may run out of funding at a certain point in the year, and then if your application is within that pool and isn't scored as high, we can also roll over that application to the following year. For this program, funding is incentive based, and the funding amount is capped at $71,250. Again, the post-project maintenance term is 5 years. And if you are a farmer looking to apply for XHIP funding, you will need current and updated manure management plans, and as well as updated ag E&S plans, or a updated conservation plan. So here are some before pictures of a project that occurred on Campbell Road in Hellam Township. This is located within the Kreitz Creek watershed. Here are the after pictures of the same site. They installed 10-foot sections of cribbing mud sills. This project cost $42,300 and was completed this past March. So now let's kind of get into information about taxes and discuss the difference between non-taxable income and taxable income pertaining to funding sources available here at the district. Non-taxable income is when the money is paid directly to the contractor. This would be things like big state grants. If we have a big project on your property, we would most likely cover it through that. Taxable income is money paid directly to the landowner, so that includes all three funding programs that we just discussed. And for that, you would need to submit a W-9 form, and we can help you through this process. And I just want to reiterate again that we are not financial professionals, so please talk to your financial professional or accountant before signing any contracts. So here's just a general overview of application requirements. As I mentioned earlier, applicants must be a district cooperator. You must have a signed project application form and a signed landowner agreement form submitted to us to proceed with completing the design and ultimately, hopefully, completing the project. And then just some general info. We're looking for completed applications. So this includes addresses and coordinates for the location of the site that is being restored. Sometimes landowners own multiple properties, and sometimes those properties don't have a true address. So it's important to note that the project is taking place at said address. Tying back in, they're also looking for an accurate and updated mailing address. And general design sketches need to be submitted as well, but we can help you through that. Again, want to reiterate that we're looking for 3 quotes from a contractor, if that's applicable, depending on what funding source you're applying to, and submitting that W-9 tax form. So you're probably wondering, what if I have a major project? As you can see, this landowner is experiencing high cut banks, as well as some poor stream crossings. So here are some after pictures. This is the Bald Eagle Creek and the Muddy Creek watershed. And this was mostly funded through the Watershed Alliance of York using YCAP funding. The Conservation District also contributed funds through the XHIP program, where we were able to create these large woody habitat structures. This project was completed in 2023. As you can see, there are new and improved cattle crossings and equipment crossings. The cattle are also fenced outside of the stream and wetland areas to conserve calories, as we were discussing closer to the beginning of the presentation. And then here is just another picture of the project area. Lots of this woody debris that serves as a habitat structure, newly planted trees and shrubs, really tying into the historic floodplain of this area, creating healthy wetland environments, and again, keeping the cattle outside of the wetland area. They'll have access to the barn as well as drinking from the stream. So here are some other funding resources we have available. Again, we discussed briefly state grants. Usually we use the 319 NPS grant as well as the Growing Greener grants. So these are hundreds of thousands of dollars typically. like that previous project that we've just seen. Certain municipalities have support through local consortiums, so they can receive stream restoration funding through those consortiums. As well as our friends at the Watershed Alliance of York, or WAY, as we've been talking throughout this presentation. They have countywide action plan funded grants, as well as the Watershed Forestry program that we discussed earlier in this presentation. And then just something to be mindful of, there are some short-term grants out there that will typically advertise. These come from other government organizations, and they can include funding for lawn to meadow conversions, tree plantings, as well as emergency brush management. Emergency brush management would be like falling trees that may or may not have entered the creek due to tornadoes that we recently had within the last year. So, some things that the Conservation District does not fund, but we do often get questions about. We do not fund the construction of stormwater swales or the restoration of stormwater swales. If you're not sure if you have stormwater swales on your property versus a creek, you can feel free to give us a call and we can help you answer that question. We do not fund stream crossings, especially for private roads and driveways or bridges. We also do not fund pond installation or removal. There are several different permitting requirements that landowners have to go through if they want to install or remove their pond. It's easier to remove the pond rather than installing the pond. And other available resources we have here at the York County Conservation District. In our education and outreach department, we host the York County Envirothon every year. We also distribute our Conservation Horizons newsletter, where you can gain a better understanding of what each department throughout our district, what they're doing on a quarterly basis, as well as holding other educational events. And within our watershed department, we talked at length about our funding opportunities available, but we also run the dirt, gravel, and low volume road program. That is headed by Chris Tanzos. This is a program to help municipalities and townships reduce runoff from degrading roadways. Here at the district, we also have our ag department, where they can help landowners with ag, erosion, and sediment control plans, as well as nutrient management plans. And our E&S department, or erosion and sediment control department, handles violations and complaints. And they also have several training opportunities. So any kind of questions about development would go to them. And at the watershed department, we do have other resources available, so you can use the QR code or type in the link and check out other information that we have. And as always, if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you for watching this presentation.